Hey folks, it's your teacher, Mr. Jennings, back at it yet again for another Big Orange Biology. Today, we are going to go into ecology. Now, there's a little bit of facts here. First off, the reason we're doing ecology instead of going to the review is later this week we're supposed to get more information about the AP exam. And until that information is available, I don't feel comfortable reviewing for a test that is completely different than any other test we've ever given before. 45-minute FRQ only exam online is not what I've trained for, to say the least. Second, a little bit of facts here. This is actually the second attempt at making this video. This video is we're supposed to be up on Monday evening. It is currently Monday evening as I'm filming this again, because the original first part of this video apparently got corrupted. Who knew? Either way, I've been trying to upload it and it's been stuck on like 88% for the last 24 hours. So we're going in it one more time. That said, we're going to try to do this in one take, one video. This might end up being two videos. I'm not sure. I'm going to kind of keep an eye on the clock. I think that's a part of the problem we're having. So if I seem like I'm going to go fast to places, always slow me down. It's pretty great. Pause and rewind. Now, we are going to get into the last portion of ecology. Now, ecology to me is very important and critical. It ties together a lot of the stuff we talk about, especially in the early units. So ignoring it, even though it's not on the exam, ignoring it does not seem responsible. I feel like ecology is critical to understanding the way the world works. It's critical to understanding your role in the world, especially as young adults, learning to be better people. If there's anything you get out of this class, is that you become a better person and a more environmentally conscious person, understanding your role in the world itself. If there's one thing I can get out of there, that's what I would like. I don't care if you make 3s and 4s and 5s or 1s and 2s on the AP exam. I don't care if you make an A or a B or a C. What I care about is you are becoming a better person by the end of this course. Unfortunately, I don't know when we'll see each other again. I'm going to try to get together some kind of Google Meet or something. I don't know. Some kind of video meeting software. There's stuff we have to go through. I don't know if I'm going to do that yet. Either way, we might see each other in like a video chat. Otherwise, you're seeing this one way. Due to I do miss you all. You all are all y'all, both classes were very fun to have. And I look forward to the day that I can see you again in room 801. In the meantime, we're going to continue this one-way channel. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to comment below. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, share, like, all that YouTube garbage. And see y'all in a little bit. Other than that, let's actually get to the videos. So today, we are talking about ecology. Now, ecology to me is, like I said, a very important unit and one I feel responsible for teaching. I genuinely enjoy this, and I also like making it the last unit because there's always I got a little speech I like to give at the end of the unit. I want to make sure we understand it. So this here would actually be the final unit we would discuss in class. These would be the final notes. We're going to do these notes in a series of about 4 to 5 videos. I've already filmed 3 other videos in addition to this one, so it was actually 4, but I think I might split this one up to 2. We're getting kind of beside the point here. What's going on there? Hold on, we're getting like weird. Sorry for that delay. My screen capture was showing 2 versions of the timer, and I was getting concerned because, corruption that happened last time. Alright, enough waffling around. So, ecology. Now, we're going to talk about this in the physiological organization sense. Now, we don't talk about body systems too much anymore, especially in the new redesign that came out this year. And definitely not this exam. However, you need to understand that every level of organization in biology is built on the level below it. For instance, cells cooperate to form tissues, tissues cooperate to form organs, and organs cooperate in organ systems. Now, these is critical for understanding because, well, Unit 2 was all about cells, and we talked about how cells have critical functions. Well, this is how their critical functions work. Cells only work determined by their structure, and their structure determines their function, and their function is going to be determining how tissues work, how organ systems work, how everything in your body works. So let's talk about eukaryotic tissue. Eukaryotic tissue is complex because we use organs to cooperate and use organs to help cooperate to accomplish life processes. Now, not every eukaryotic organism is going to have organ systems. However, every cell has organelles. Organelles and organs are very similar in processes. They are highly specialized components that work to help specialize the body and the cell itself. For example, the stomach and the small intestine. These are two different organs. Together, they complement each other to the same function. The function being nutritional absorption. By taking the stomach, whose main function is to digest and break down proteins chemically and mechanically with the churning of the muscles and the gastric juices, not respectively. And then you combine that with the small intestine, which is increased surface area, which allows for that nutrition that's been freely up by the chemical digestion in the stomach to all of a sudden be, more digested, because there's other accessory organs like the liver and the gallbladder and the pancreas all at work here, helping out contribute to the small intestine. The small intestine's main function is to absorb all the nutritional value in it. That's why if you look at the lining of a small intestine, you'll find one that's covered in muscle layers to pump things through and churn it. But if you look at each of the villi, they're covered in smaller microvilli. All these here were to help increase surface area. In Unit 2, we discussed the surface area of a cell is critical for understanding cell transport, and some cells have more surface area. The same applies to organs and organelles. Sorry, organs, not organelles. Same applies to organs. Organs are going to be very some organs are going to have necessary surface area modifications to carry out their function. And if your function is to absorb nutrients, you want as much surface area you can to allow for osmosis and diffusion to take place. Plants do have organs. I'm not going to sit here and elaborate on that too much, but plants actually do contain organs. Plants were largely removed in the 2012 revision of the program, and by the time the 2019 revision hit, there's plants, kinda. It's a shame, honestly. But you do need to know plants do have organs as well. Now, organ systems help cooperate to accomplish life processes. For instance, two different organ systems, like the respiratory and the circulatory system, are so intertwined that we often view them together. The pulmonary and cardiovascular systems are some of the most critical systems of the human body and life in general. Most organisms have some sort of respiratory system. Humans and other land animals, land vertebrates, let's be more accurate here, use a lung-based system where we have capillary beds in a lung tissue that allow for the exchange of gases. Those gases then are going to be transported using the circulatory system throughout the body for necessary functions. Let's tie back to Unit 3. Unit 3, we talked about those functions, mainly cellular respiration. You needed oxygen in order for cellular respiration to occur to produce all the ATP needed for your body to function. As a byproduct, you produce CO2. The circulatory system is going to allow the CO2 that can be toxic in high amounts to be carried out through the circulatory system back to the lungs, to be exchanged into the lungs, to be trying to find the word here, pushed out of the lungs. I want to say excreted, but it's not actually the word I'm looking for here. It allows for the lungs to allow the CO2 gas to escape, and in the process allows O2 gas to come back into the cells. Now, nervous and musculatory systems are also much like this. The nervous system allows your body to know when the cells to contract, the muscle cells to contract, and how they receive signals. This is a good example of cell signaling that we saw in Unit 4. See, this does collaborate a bunch of later units. Yes, so sorry for the pause break there. So the nervous system is a great example of that cell signaling process. While we aren't supposed to directly instruct on it anymore, at least we don't have to, we did talk about the nervous system a little bit. And the excretion that we see in the nervous system is really a great example of the cell signaling process that's going on. As the signals are excreted by the cell, they send chemical cascades to the muscle fibers that allow the muscle fibers to know when to contract and when to, elongate. It's pretty cool. Excuse me. The shoot and root system is a good example of also osmosis from Unit 2 here, because transpiration, which is going to be combined with respiration and osmosis and photosynthesis, as they goes on together, that causes water to be pulled up the xylem, partially because it's going to go from areas of low water potential to high water potential. That's what we see here as it goes towards the atmosphere. So it's going to go from high to low. Sorry, high water potential to low water potential, which means it's going to high water concentration. I always get that mixed up right away. Either way, as water pulls across, it's actually going to be pulling, the sucrose is going to be being pushed down for a similar effect, and that's also going to cause water to move across the membranes of the xylem phloem, allowing for the water, for allowing the sucrose to travel, but also helps the water move up. Alright, we're going to stop it right here. We're going to make this a two-part video. So, just to recap here, all the organ systems and stuff are intertwined. And one of the reasons we talk about that in ecology, even though technically it's not really a true ecology thing, it helps give you an idea that everything's connected. And if that's one thing to get away from ecology, is that everything is connected in the ecosystem. And it's not just animals to animals and, abiotic factors and biotic factors. It's internally as well. And really, it's a great example. The reason we like this unit is because it's a great example of how the stuff that we learned in units 1, 2, 3, and 4, especially those 4 units, are interconnected in ways that you wouldn't think. Units 5 and 6, which were the genetics units, really tie into Unit 7 nicely. And trust me, the 5 and 6 stuff is not going away. But it's really, the first 4 units really complement ecology very well. So they're going to kind of serve as a good way to review for ecology, for units 1 through 4, just a little bit. So it's not entirely redundant. All right. So let's pull up here just the big screen. Okay. So as we talked about, we're going to go into the next part here. The next part we're going to talk about is energy matter and energy flow. We're going to talk about basically food chains and food webs in the next part. Those components are critical to understanding how ecosystems obtain their nutrients and how their energy flows. It also, again, ties heavily into Units 1 and 3 from the past, where Unit 1 was macromolecules and Unit 3 was energy. So we're going to talk about all these concepts, and they don't really go away. They just kind of get built upon, and we're going to keep referring back to them. It kind of lets you see the connection. But we'll see. So thank you for watching. I'm Mr. Jennings. Hope you had a wonderful day. This has been Big Orange Biology. See you later.